Hello, everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. I hope you're all doing very, very well. It is the day after Chelsea lose 3-1 against Leeds, or as it's got in the title, the day after we fall. I'm not saying like this is a start of a downfall, but I mean it's not great, is it? It's not a great place to be when you lose against arguably one of the worst sides in the league, one of the top contenders to get relegated. But I'll be honest with you. I mean, I think I spoke briefly with Kev about this. I don't think I've actually spoken with anyone else. Like I was never particularly confident that we were going to win the game anyway, but I didn't necessarily think we'd lose. I just thought, oh, okay, we'll probably drop point. I saw a draw, like a 1-1 or a 2-2, something like that. And to be honest with you, like in hindsight, actually, when I look at one or two of the goals, I think honestly it probably should have been a draw, whether we deserved it or not. But I mean, we're going to get into all of it. We've got Kev. How are you doing, mate? You were at the game last night.
Long, man. Long. They didn't get back until 8 o'clock in the morning. Fell asleep with some lay-by. I don't know. I was meant to have an hour's sleep, but ended up sleeping for 6 hours. And then I woke up, I was like, where the fuck am I?
At least you got a good night's sleep, though.
Well, it would have been better in my bed, to be fair. But, man, I literally got on the M62 and I was falling asleep. So I thought, I'm just going to pull over at any roundabout fine and just woke up in the morning.
Trust me, Kev, I've been there with you when you're falling asleep. I know how it is. At least you pulled over this time.
Yeah, scary shit, bro. It's not Chelsea, unfortunately, you're not worth my life. So I'd rather just pull over and be safe. But apart from that, another disappointing away day for me this season. I've already been to 3 games and 2 of the worst away days I've ever been to. Last night was one of them, man. Absolutely awful. But what can we say? I didn't see the starting lineup, but when I looked, I was literally sat near the tunnel, looked to the left, and I seen Tosin, I seen Chalobah, and I seen Badashile. I was like, yeah, it's gonna be a long night.
Yeah. What about you, Dharmesh? I don't think you could get the time off work.
Yeah, no, I sell my ticket. I met with some random guy at Norbiton Station on Tuesday evening to sell my ticket and stuff. Do you know what? I mean, Leeds is one of those grounds I've always wanted to go to as well, just to experience their away day and stuff. I didn't get to go, but obviously with the result and stuff, I'm like, thank God I have to travel all that time back and stuff. But yeah, it kind of just feels like one step forward, 2 steps back. But I kind of expected this result against Bournemouth for Saturday, and I thought we'd get through Leeds, but we've actually stumbled against Leeds first, so that's a bit weird in terms of my own sort of prediction I had in my mind. But yeah, overall gutted with the performance because there was a real chance for us to really build on that point from Arsenal, but we didn't really do that. So yeah, we're back to, I guess, square one again, where we look at some of the players in this squad, whether they're good enough, whether they're not good enough and stuff. And yeah, a lot to delve into, man.
No, we're definitely going to delve in. Scott, I mean, I presume you watched the game. I know you weren't there, but I feel like when you watch it on the telly, Lewis, I know you watched it on the telly as well. Like, I feel like you do see a lot more than we see in the stadium. And in that case, it almost makes it worse because there's things that I probably didn't see that you picked up on. So I'd be intrigued to see what your opinion is. But I mean, what's your feeling at the moment?
Shit. Like Dharmesh said, it feels like that Arsenal result is just a waste of time. Like, it doesn't matter at all. Yeah, and like Nina and myself and people who talked about like the Burnley and Leeds, Burnley and Leeds games being more difficult than the Arsenal and Barcelona games, and needing to prove yourself against the type of teams we played yesterday, just showed its head again. Like, that's why we're not a title challenging team, and we never will be until we fix that. Like, you can play kind of crap against Burnley and get the result because your talent just comes through, and they've been pretty shit this season. But against Leeds, when they've been terrible as well, but they kind of had a game plan. Game plan worked. Similar to Brentford in that sense. And yeah, drop points again, and we're now 9 points off top. Title race is finished. It's done.
It's done. Over.
Yeah, it's done. Like, it's done. Like, you've got Arsenal smashing Brentford 2-0, keeping a clean sheet, with their backup centre backs, and in fact, their 2 right backs both starting in that game because one of their centre backs went off injured. One of their backup centre backs. They kept a clean sheet against Brentford. We conceded 2. Like, even City, as horrifically bad as their defence is, they've got the firepower to just outscore teams. Yeah. Even Villa, to an extent, were able to do that yesterday, as horrifically bad as their defence was. And we couldn't, because our attack is just pathetic.
Lewis?
Yeah, it's been a horrible 24 hours. I'm on front. It's been fucking garbage. Especially just coming off that.
Did you?
Yeah. Like, I expected this game to be more difficult than the Arsenal game. I titled that for my preview, and look at the way that it's just come out. But I didn't expect a performance of that level. But it does bring some brutal honesties about some of these individuals to the surface. I'm sure we're all going to delve into in today's game. In terms of the title race, look, there's a time to talk about it. There's a time not to talk about it. Right now is not the time to talk about anything to do with a title. We just have to look at the game ahead of ourselves and just look at where we failed, because there's a lot of areas that we failed in. And that's it. It's a long season. Anything can happen. But I'm not talking about nothing until you can rise some better performances than that. Because we needed a lot better. I thought it was going to be a scrappy game, regardless of who played. But that sort of performance, unacceptable. But at least it's given us some brutal honesties to discuss, because we need to.
Oh, 100%. I mean, let's just go through a couple of the comments, and then we'll crack on, guys. Big up to Crack as well. Chelsea Fentivin Lewis in my top 5 YouTuber recap. Big up to you lot. Thanks for the support, mate. We appreciate it.
Humble, brother. Thank you.
Big up to Pierre as well. Big up Alex and the panel. Big up to Nick. Good to see you, mate. Jacob says play Josh, Reese, and Enzo in the midfield. Palmer in the 10. Gusto as well, but offering width on the left of Palmer. Neto 11. George says us lose to Aston Villa and we win at Bournemouth and we are back. Dwayne says Maresca is our problem. Craig says we're getting pumped by Bournemouth, not feeling confident for that one. Total revamp of our defense needed. I'm up at 3 a.m. to listen to this. Big up, Ray. Good to see you, mate.
Big up, man.
Pacharo 13 says we got to thank West Ham for today not having Man United tie with the same points as us. I mean, that would have been a real conversation there. By the way,
if you watch that, United are so bad. It's incredible. Their build-up stinks. It's a horrid watch.
Can I just ask you this now, actually, because I saw a stat. I guess Lewis, you might as well start with you, because I feel like you actually keep up to date with a lot of this stuff as well. I saw a stat about last season. We're on was it 27 points, and now we're on 24 points at the same moment with the same amount of games played. And then there was a caption that said we're not improving, we're moving backwards. What's your reaction to that? Because I'll be honest, I personally disagree with that, because I think you've got to look at the context and the fact that we were out of both cup competitions earlier. Although actually that's probably not relevant in that sense. But okay, let's take Champions League into consideration.
Last week. We were second last week. It's like, look, stats like that, they don't really mean nothing to me, because it's a long season and runs of form can get built at any point. That just completely negate the point for any of that. We just have to look at this game in isolation and how bad it was. And we could talk about rotation, and I get that's been something that's been spoken about a lot over the last 24 hours. But my only real problem, and it's in hindsight, is the way we set up from the back. And I think that just impacted everything ahead of it. Because, and I'll put my hands up, I'll say, I looked at the lineup and I looked back to the Burnley game and I thought we'd get by with Tosin and Chalobah playing together. Got it wrong. Just like the manager did, got that horribly wrong. I don't ever want to see that again. We know what Chalobah's like. He's better with better players around him. You don't leave him at right back. When you have a right back, centre back option in Josh Achimpong that you said you fell in love with last season, and you've stopped using him in the Premier League. And I don't know why. When he would suit playing that role a lot better than having Chalobah there, who we already know is very shaky and wary in build-up. Part of that is a big reason why Estevao was struggling on the right-hand side because he didn't have any support with him. Badiashile just pussied out of anything progressively on that side. And then you go to Tosin, who we have to drop back to accommodate, who is meant to be good in the air, but is not good in the air and struggles against physical forwards when he's meant to be used against physical forwards. Very slow in build-up. He had the odd good pass here or there. I'll give him that. But it doesn't really account to anything in what we saw in the 90 minutes. And for an experienced player, when he has bad mistakes, he falls into a shell and then starts making more. And then he starts making more. And then he becomes a target. And then he starts making more. And that's where the biggest problem for me in the lineup was. Everything else, you had to rotate. We have to rotate. I don't get this mindset of play your best players every single game like it's 2004. There's too many fixtures being played, especially for this squad who's just come out the World Cup and had a 10-day preseason. You are going to have to rotate. You have to look at the rotation options and see whether they are good enough or not. Gittins, I didn't think was good enough. He had a good assist, bar that wasn't great. Garnacho, I got nothing to say about your performance. I thought you took on your man pretty well. Made a great chance for Palmer. Is what it is. Neto was semi-decent when he came on. That was it. Delap, well, we're probably going to end up talking about him later. He is looking very fucking fraudulent right now. João Pedro, I think it might be something a bit more to do with form. I want to see what he's like with Cole Palmer. And I'm waiting to see what we're like with Palmer back in the team before I start really talking about where this attack's at. Because I do think we're still missing that very big factor. And that has to be taken into account too. Midfield, Enzo Fernandez, disgraceful. I think I've got everything out of the game. I think
disgraceful. Well, that's
Enzo was very slow, very lethargic, gave the ball away for fun. Not good at all. Santos as well, like he's not going to have the same like movement around the pitch as a Caicedo, and we saw that get caught out a couple times. But I also think because of how slow the build-up was, and I'll add this to Enzo Fernandez as well, you're putting the midfielders under very immense pressure because of how slow you're building up from the back. The likes of Chalobah, Tosin, Badiashile, all taking ages to make their decisions. It makes the next pass easier to read. But that's where the biggest problem for me with the starting 11 was. It was just at the back.
Kev, how can you add to that? I mean, you've got to give the opinion of someone who's going as well, because it's a different type of experience.
Yeah. From the first minute, from the first whistle, Leeds were all over us. We never got into the game. First half, hostile environment. What I'd be saying to the lads is, can you try and quiet the crowd down? Can we just stay in the game? Can we try and win our 50-50 draws? Can we try and win the second balls? All the stuff off the ball. Didn't do nothing like that. Every second ball they won. Every header they won. The ball was getting pumped into Calvert-Lewin. Tosin, like Lewis said, didn't even win one header in his draw. Let's talk about their midfield. Stack and Ampadu absolutely controlled the game. Didn't give none of our players space, time to breathe. I thought Stack last night was absolutely phenomenal. Big player, gets around the pitch well, made it difficult putting in crunching tackles. And we know about Caicedo in that middle with his bite and his physicality, we struggle, and it was evident to see last night. Enzo was getting on the ball, wasn't making anything happen. So we talked about the midfield, lost that battle. Just talk about the defensive battle. How the hell are you letting a washed-up Calvert-Lewin get in and score like that? Always the same thing, isn't it? Say if their second goal was a moment of brilliance, I have to admit that, but the other two goals, mistakes again. And if we continue to make mistakes, this is what I said from the start, we're going to lose points and lose games. And, and that's what happens again. Tosin just falls asleep most times. Don't know what the hell he was thinking there. I don't know what he was thinking there. Why would you come back inside into a press when you've got your right back right in front, your right wingers right in front of you there to play that ball out, and you've turned back into danger and give them the ball and let them score? Like this is stuff that you teach kids at Sunday League level, not to turn back inside. If anything, just boot it down the line, boot it out of touch. if the pressure's really bad, just beat it out of touch. And it is there, turn inside. Game done. What can I say? Another embarrassing away day, man. And like Lewis said, yeah, sometimes you have to think about rotating your teams accordingly. But when you look at our backup options, that's the difference between us, Arsenal, and the City. They have got top talents to their disposal, and we've got trash. We've got Badashile. What the hell did he do that first half? I can't remember him putting a tackle in. Can't remember him winning the header. Nothing. Chalobah's performances. Chalobah had a great game, scored against Arsenal. Then he puts in a performance like that within a couple of days. So I don't know if it was the manager's decision to start these players, or like I said, with all the sports science going into the game at the moment, all these red lines, can we play players 2 times a week? I think the majority of the players that got dropped yesterday is to do with that, and unfortunately, that's the reason why we lost. So, yeah, another day, another dollar.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, to be fair, I was gutted, Kev, because I was on the phone with you today. I said, "Where did you go?" You just shut off straight away. But I suppose when you're frustrated,
mate, I was pissed off, bro. To be honest, yeah.
I was surprised how quickly people got out of that stadium. Usually, there's a few more people hanging around, but it was a long trip home if you could get there.
No last trains from what I heard.
Exactly.
There wasn't a train, so we had to get the coach overnight.
Oh, none in general. Oh,
that's why what I was telling you earlier off stream. So I was right. I'll go at the front of the coach. Cam said I'll go at the back of the coach, and I'll see he's right next to the toilet. I'm not sitting there for 5.5 hours. Next thing you know, somebody's gone for a shit, and he stinks the whole place out. And I'm in the best seat in the house because I'm right at the front. And I'm sure I reserved a seat as well, but then 2 ladies came and kicked me out. So I had to go. So I went from having 2 seats to myself to having the one individual seat at the front, so you can't lean against anything. So I was sort of just sat there.
Well, so it's not by a window.
No window, nothing. There was a window there, but it was like, imagine there was a seat next to me, but it had been taken out. I think it was a disability.
What coach is this?
Just National Express.
Oh, right. I couldn't say it's a lot.
Yeah, very classy, isn't it? Yeah. So yeah, that was an eventful journey. I got home at 7:30 this morning. And it's been quite a day. But yeah, Dharmesh, what did you make of it, mate? What's your overall analysis?
Yeah, I echo what the boys said, to be fair, in terms of like from minute 1, we just didn't seem at it at all. It kind of felt like a derby game for Leeds because obviously the massive rivalry that we have with them and stuff. It felt like one of those games where they'd be up for it, we'd be sort of up for it as well, just purely all the talk midweek and stuff of the 1970s like FA Cup final and stuff, and all the history between Leeds and Chelsea. And it kind of did feel like a derby game at times, even though obviously we're nowhere near apart and stuff. That rivalry is there, as I said, but yeah, we honestly didn't. We looked lethargic, we looked slow. Too many changes, I think, as well. Like, it's justified to make the changes, but that many, especially in the defense, to change it up and stuff, I thought it was a big mistake from Maresca, a rare mistake that he makes, to be fair. But yeah, we lost all our second balls. Patterns of play wasn't good in the attack as well. Trying to defend against Calvert-Lewin and that other is it Kamecha? His name is, I forgot his name.
Yeah.
The other Leeds forward. Trying to deal with them too. We made them look like prime Drogba and Anelka, man. Honestly, especially like the Calvert-Lewin, the amount of headers he was winning, man, against the likes of Tosin, Badiashile, and yeah, it's clear to see. We all know that these guys are squad players. We know that we can't rely on them every single game to turn up and stuff. And yeah, we just came up short, and that's the biggest difference for us between us and going for the league, really. So with that respect, the defense didn't really help themselves in glory. I mean, yeah, some of the defending for the goals and Tosin, obviously, he's Tosin for the third goal. Didn't cover himself in glory. Where I don't know why he turned into danger. I think either Kev or Lewis mentioned where he sort of turned back to Sanchez and then lost the ball. It's like there was an outlet there for you to pass the ball, and as soon as we made the changes of like Gusto and Neto, we did look slightly better. I thought Gusto did all right coming on, to be fair. We looked like we'd get back into the game, but then that third goal just killed it off completely for us. And I think Palmer had a chance at 2-1, I believe it was as well.
Yeah.
I'm obviously not going to get on his back for missing that because he's just come back from injury and stuff, and there was bound to be some rustiness in there. He hadn't played since the United game, so but looking at that chance as well, that would have taken us to 2-2. But yeah, the attack didn't click either. I thought Garnacho did okay coming on. There was some good moments from him. And yeah, we just have to look at ourselves for this game. And I always said our biggest problem is us. It's never the opposition. It's always us in terms of our mindset, our approach to the game, and stupid errors that we make can ultimately cost us, which it did yesterday. Now, do we sort of crumble, or do we go back to sort of winning ways and stuff in terms of going to the December run? Because historically in December we look obviously awful. This is where it all sort of fell apart for us last season and other seasons. Will it happen again? We don't know. But history will tell us that it will. So it's a bit scary in that sense, but it's good to see that we have Cole Palmer coming back. See how the attack does with him back in the team. Estevao, obviously, I thought he did okay. To be fair, he wasn't getting much help from like Enzo and the likes of Chalobah as well. One of his more sort of quiet games, but anything that was going to come for him. I think he had a shot in the first half where he sort of cut in, went for a corner and stuff. But yeah, this is the Chelsea we're going to see, guys, for pretty much the rest of the season. I think we'll go on a couple of good runs. We'll probably beat Man City away, for example, in January, and then I don't know who our next games after that is, but we'll probably end up slipping up against them just because these types of games are the ones that we tend to struggle in, and history has shown that we have struggled in these games. So yeah, ultimately, yeah, very disappointing. We miss Caicedo so much, by the way, as well. I know we're stating the obvious and stuff, but with him on the pitch, I think we could have covered up for the defense in some way. I think in terms of that coolness and composure throughout the game and stuff. I don't know if it would have prevented it sort of them making bozo mistakes, but I think it would have. Caicedo would have helped a lot, but obviously he's not here when we have to deal with it for the next two games and stuff. And yeah, we've got a big game coming up on Saturday against Bournemouth. We just have to pick ourselves up and get going. Really, that's it.
Scott, mate, I know you said it was obviously poor earlier on, but if you were going to be as level-headed as possible, how would you describe the situation? Because people are talking about the rotation options. People obviously talk about individual players like Tosin, etc. Lewis said Enzo Fernandez as well. Like, is it also credit to Leeds? Like, where's the fine line in terms of figuring out where the issue is?
Oh, the issue from yesterday was clear. It was two places and three players, pretty much. First of all, Leeds get massive credit just because, like they like I said earlier, they had a game plan. They came with the game plan you saw from minute one, and it worked. Yeah, like the rotation. I don't have an issue with the rotation outside of one player, which we'll get to, because we're playing once every 3 or 4 days. This is the busiest period of the entire season. You have to rotate. He rotated 2 players in the back line, 2 players in the attack, and 1 player in midfield. 3 of those were enforced because you couldn't play Reece James, you couldn't play Fofana, and you couldn't play Caicedo. Pedro Neto has played like 3 or 4 games on the bounce. He had to be rotated. And then who else was there that got taken out? And then Gusto. Gusto's maybe the only one you could have kept in. Outside of that, you had to rotate everyone else. Don't have an issue with the rotation. The issue is the fact that we're rotating in players who are not good enough. We know they're not good enough. They have to play, though, because you can't just not play them. It's the same issue as last season.
Can you be specific? When you say not good enough for what exactly?
Badiashile, Gittins.
For the Premier League?
Just not good enough to play for Chelsea. Full stop.
Right.
End of story.
Gittins hasn't had enough chance yet.
Gittins has played 11 games this season. He's played the same amount of minutes as Garnacho. Yeah. He has 2 assists.
That's not enough time, mate, for anybody, mate. Give him time.
Him and Garnacho have had the same amount of minutes. They've had close to 500 minutes each. Actually, they've had 500 minutes each.
It's not enough time, mate. You can't give someone 11 games and then give them an overall recap, mate.
Those 2 players combined have less GNA than Noni did at the same stage of last season by himself.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dark, bro.
Noni had 7. Noni had 7 GNA by this point last season. They have 5 between them.
Yeah.
Well, let's get into
There's
the next.
an argument in the
Good
middle, isn't it? Because like you're talking about the level right now. The level right now isn't good enough.
Exactly.
I think Kev's talking more about where the future might be, but as of right now, I hear what you're saying.
I don't care about future, man. These guys
No,
are
I
2
get
years.
we're talking about this game in isolation. I get you.
But the Shane and Tosin nowhere near good enough. And we said this before. Sanchez not good enough.
Well,
players not good
Sanchez
enough.
has been all right recently.
Nah, he's
Yeah, I'm
shit.
not even
He's
on Sanchez
shit.
too tough.
Yeah,
He wasn't
Sanchez has
great
been good.
yesterday,
I
but
say,
I
I'm
ain't on
one
him
of
like that.
Sanchez's biggest haters. He's been good, and I don't even blame him for how bad he was yesterday because I think that was a trickle down effect of how bad the defense was, in terms of how shaky it was. I have to ask the question, by the way, because I have to get onto this player. Should we still keep Tosin in January?
Oh hell no!
I'm not. I'm not as extreme as
Gassy his ass.
as
You don't fit the
Charlie
way we
and-
play.
I'm not as extreme as that. I would play him against Cardiff, and that's it. I'd play him
I
against
am not
Cardiff.
risking. No, he got
It's a
dominated by both
championship
strikers.
side.
Bro,
It's
he
a-
got dominated by
If he
both
can't do it
strikers
in the
against
champion,
Wolves
if he
last
can't do it
game.
against a championship side, Lewis, then I hold my
He
hands
didn't
up.
do
I
it
say,
against Wolves B team.
But he
Good
could.
shit,
He
bro.
was able to rotate last season. So why such a dramatic change all of a sudden?
He's just
Like for
been
me,
bad.
I've always seen Tosin as a squad player. I don't think he's. I don't think he's a better player than.
I'm
than
not-
Delap.
Now he's a
I'm
clear
not even
target.
kidding. I would rather play Harrison Murray Campbell, whatever the fuck his name is, from the academy than him. I'm being genuinely serious. We've conceded in all comps 25 goals. He has been directly involved in 11 of them.
I'm not advocating for Tosin starting in the Premier League anymore. I will hold my hands up
He
and
should
say
play
You
that.
want us
full
to risk
stop
the cup
again.
competition
He
with him?
shouldn't play another minute for Chelsea Football Club again in any
I want that
competition
Carabao
ever.
Cup, bro.
Matisse said it right, by the way. He tweeted this. January 1st at midnight, you accept the first bid that comes in. I don't care whether it's 10 million or £10. You accept the first bid that comes in.
The thing is, though,
Go on.
it's straight profit. We're not losing out on him because we
No,
got him
you're
for free.
absolutely right, Kev.
So if we
still
sell
got
him
robbed.
for £15 million, let's fucking sell him
If we
for
buy his
anything.
from as well, I
Whatever
think
it comes in.
any of the London clubs will
Just
take
sell
him
him.
as well. Like, well, I can see him going to like West Ham or
Palace.
Palace or something like that.
He
Yeah,
cannot
yeah.
be. He
Levels,
cannot
like
wear a
that.
Chelsea
Let's try and
shirt
do one
unless
at a
it's the
time,
last
guys. Let's
5
try and get
minutes
one
and
at a
we're seeing the game out. There is no other reason for me to see this guy on the pitch. He's a straight net negative to the way we play. We have to accommodate him, and he is not good enough to accommodate. When it's Thiago Silva, I hear it because of how fucking good of a defender and a ball player Thiago Silva is. I don't have to explain the difference between the pair of them. But when it's Tosin, he's slower on the ball. He's got less composure. If he makes mistakes, he can't bounce back from it. He gets dominated by physical forwards. He got dominated by both of Wolves' strikers in the 4-3 game. I don't even know the name of the second striker, but he was physical and he dominated him too. Thank you, Scott. Like, everything, we have to drop the line back because of him. We're not as compact because of him, because he's not fast, so he can't recover, and he's got no counter-pressing attributes to his game. We have to accommodate him, and he is not good enough. Over. This is the Disassi Ipswich moment, and it's even more damning that we played that Ipswich game with both Disassi and Tosin starting. No wonder we got battered.
I'm looking at the games, by the way, he's played or been involved in this season. Bayern Munich, we conceded 3. Ajax, he was responsible for the only goal we conceded. Karabakh, he was responsible for at least one of the goals we conceded. West Ham, Fulham, he was crap. Brentford, he was crap. United, he was crap. Nottingham Forest, he came on for 9 minutes. Sunderland, he came on for 14 minutes and was responsible partly for the goal we conceded to lose the game. Tottenham, he played a minute. Burnley, he was crap and got bailed out by Santos. And Leeds, where he was responsible for 2 of the 3 goals we conceded. Oh, and
I can't deny the fact that it's pure profit. I can't deny that. I mean, by the way, like I felt betrayed after that game. I was standing outside the stadium and I went, I hold my hands up, and I've not everybody's seen it, but Lewis, we were in the studio, mate. I think you might have been in the studio as well, Scott, and we were having the Fofana Tosin debate last season, and I said I take Tosin every single day of the week over Fofana because he's available. But then the question is, how many games does Fofana need to to play in order to have enough of an impact that's still a net positive on this team. And so if you get 10 good games in the Premier League out of Fofana, let's just say that he plays exceptionally well. I mean, the way it's going right now, you're probably going to win at least 9 of those games. You'll win most of them, and you'll probably get clean sheets in probably over half. And that's close to 30 points. So we'll just say 27 points. I think that when you look at it like that, you can justify having a player like Fofana on your books, just like you can justify Reece James being on your books, especially in the past when he was as a wing back, because he was so good even when he come back into the fold. Now that James is available every week, obviously it's brilliant, but I think you just can't take away from the fact that Fofana is so much better than all of our defenders. Not to mention this whole thing about Chalobah and Tosin. Like I'm a huge advocate for Chalobah as well. I think he's certainly a better player than Tosin. I think he's a level below Fofana, but he also raises or drops his standard based on the level of the partner he has next to him. If he has good players around him, he generally plays well. We saw under Tuchel, he was very good. You know, when he had Thiago Silva, when he had Rudiger next to him, and that you don't just lose that quality, you don't lose that ability, but that you need something to complement certain players so that they can continue to perform. And I think Chalobah is a great example.
A centre back is not just one person; it's a combination. A centre back is a partnership. All great defenses have had 2 players as a partnership, like us, Terry Carvalho, United, Ferdinand Vidic. All the great partnerships make good defenses. So Chalobah's playing with shit. What do you think he's going to be?
Shit.
There you go. So yeah.
At least he raised the level to the partner. Tosin doesn't.
Get rid of him, please, man. I'd just please.
He makes the players worse around him.
I do think he'll go.
Yeah. And the thing is, you can tell me what formation was it last night? Because I couldn't even see.
For us, it was 4-2-3-1. For us, like it was.
I think
we had Cucurella inverting and
no, we were pushing Chalobah out wide in a right back position.
Yeah, we did the usual stuff. It was just Cucurella inverting into like the number 10 position, because our number 10 was doing shot runs out of midfield. And we had like Chalobah as the wide centre back in the 3, Tosin as the central centre back in the 3, and Badiashile on the left.
The problem is Chalobah and Badiashile didn't want to progress nothing, so our wingers were dying. And because of how slowly we were progressing, the midfielders kept getting the ball under pressure. And that led to a lot of turnovers, especially for Enzo Fernandez. João Pedro was just roaming around doing the square root of fuck all, and Liam Delap is just a false image of everything that we think Liam Delap is meant to be.
I don't think he held the ball up once.
I don't want him.
He is straight useless. I swear. Like I'm trying so hard to tell myself it's one season. You always give players a season. You always give players. He's not showing me a damn thing.
He's playing worse than Jackson did last season.
Yep.
True.
He is 100%.
And we wanted Jackson. I was right, by the way. I knew in the Arsenal game it wasn't tactical. I knew it wasn't. He's just lazy.
Yeah, and I'm not with that. Because when we played him against Ipswich, he was fucking clattering into Tosin and Disasi all game. Press him like a dog. I don't know where that player's gone. The touch is awful. It's like seeing Lukaku back at the club. The fucking shooting isn't good enough. Every aspect of his game that I think he's meant to have, he's not physical. Like the first goal, he's fucking lets his man run freely and they get a free header. Everything that I expect this guy to have, intensity, determination, a strong press, off the ball work, a basic first touch, test the goalkeeper. I'm not seeing none of it. At least with João Pedro, I can look at what I've seen in the Club World Cup and certain games this season and think there's form. I can wait to see what you're like with Cole Palmer. There's something I can go off. Delap, I have nothing. And Jackson was a player who came with limited first-team experience to Chelsea and got us 10 to 14 goals a season with some assists. You've been in the Premier League. So there's less excuses for you. You weren't doing 2 games a week last season. You were doing 1 game a week with Ipswich. Yet you're looking more tired than Cucurella, who's running around doing 4 positions at once. I'm not with it.
you think he's like confused? He doesn't understand his role?
No, I think he's either being lazy or he's a false image.
That's not good enough.
I think it just
I
looks
was never
rusty as
for
well.
it.
He looks so rusty.
Well, I
Even
mean,
like
he has
from the
just
touch,
come
he
back
looks
from
rusty.
injury. I mean, it's not like he's
He's not showing anything.
How many touches did he get on the ball last night? I can't think he got more than.
He actually had
10.
quite for me. I thought he had quite a few, but he just wasn't holding the ball
I
up.
can find
Every
out.
time he went into him, he
It
just
was
got smothered,
fucking
and
shit, bro.
yeah, his hold up play was just crap,
And
basically.
the thing is, he does run
Yeah,
for the
'cause,
ball.
like, he wasn't holding the ball up well, and his touch is awful, and his ball control weren't good.
Even the shot he had, I think,
like this, jumping in the air.
yeah,
That's what
yeah,
I've seen
it's
him
true.
doing. He runs and he just jumps with his back like that. He doesn't even face the ball. You see him jumping
He had
around.
18 touches and lost the ball 8 times with those 18 touches.
God Almighty!
Yeah.
That's poor.
So,
Especially when you want the striker to sort of like take the pressure off, especially when you're trying to get out of that sort of intensity.
he made
of
6
as well.
passes and completed 3 of them.
That's horrible.
3 shots, 1 on target.
I need number 9, eh?
I will say this. I mean, I'm certainly not at the stage where I'm losing my patience. And I think it's far too early to judge Delap in that sense. He's been injured. He hasn't had regular game time. It's a new system. It's a new team. Very difficult.
Alex,
But I agree with you that Jackson was better last season. I agree with that.
He had no ratings anyway. What ratings have you got to be at Chelsea Football Club? You've had 1 season in the Prem at Ipswich, and you're now number 9 at Chelsea.
Well, he's a unique profile, isn't he? There's not many strikers like him.
Yes, there are.
Well, in terms of what he did last season, Scott, I don't think you could name many strikers that did what Delap did in terms of his profile.
Lukaku, there you go.
So we're going to go out and buy Lukaku.
Yeah, he's a Lukaku. His link-up play is arse. His hold-up play is arse. He has no strength based on what we're seeing, by the way. I'm not even saying that this is like we're watching this.
No, look,
he's a running behind the backline striker who's going to get limited touches a game and needs to be fed chances. That was what we had with Lukaku under 2.
Delap is similar to Jackson in the sense that apart from Jackson last season, he had one of the most he carried the ball from midfield more than a lot of other players. So he likes to dribble. He can dribble. He likes to carry the ball. He likes to counter attack. He shoots.
You still got to be able to link
what
up
we've
and
been
hold
complaining
up
about with João Pedro. The fact
By the way,
that
everything you just said there, Ekitike is the same profile, and they're not even anywhere.
We could have got Ekitike. We could have also got Walter, man, who I'm a big fan of at Newcastle.
Delap is so limited.
We could have got a lot of different players.
Like he's some complete striker.
Let's try and do one at a time, guys. Let's not just shout over each other. We can't.
If you just said to a £30 million striker shoots, bro, is that what you just fucking said, bro?
Well, and a £60 million striker doesn't shoot.
No, but João Pedro is not a striker.
What's his job?
We know that.
He's playing as a striker, so that's my point.
No, Delap was playing as a striker.
Alex, what is Delap's job? What is his job? Forget everything else. Forget
Score
the running,
goals. Yes, Kev, I know
to
that.
shoot. So why have you even mentioned his shooting, bro? That's what he's supposed to do anyway,
Because we complain about João Pedro not shooting, and then you've got a striker. I'm talking about profiles here, guys. I'm talking about profiles, different types of players. That's why you bring in different profiles.
Profiles is one thing. IQ and technique is another thing.
I didn't say anything about IQ. I didn't say anything about IQ. I said the reason we got João Pedro, one of the reasons we got Delap was because of the profile. It's not. It's not.
And I'm
anything
saying
to do
what
with
we're
the fact that I think
criticizing is the IQ and the technique and the decision making. We're not saying the profile.
the decision making can certainly be better, but the service also needs to be better, and he needs to have a consistent run of game.
2 or 3 clear-cut chances.
You did, to be fair. You got given 3 or 4 chances. Yeah.
I'm not talking about one game, guys. I'm talking over the course of a season. If you're giving up on one player at this point in December, I just think it's so harsh. If that was the case, then we should have got rid of Cucurella at this point. Like,
I don't think any of us are giving up.
Close-minded,
we're not giving up, but I'm saying he's looking spooky.
Yeah, he's not. Also, that we didn't sign him because of his profile. We signed him because he was a Man City former academy player. He'd worked with Maresca previously, and because we thought he'd be a goal scorer. None of which is helping us because he can't fit the system.
That's one of the main reasons we signed him.
And also because he's cheap, but he doesn't fit the system. Like he isn't scoring goals. Yeah, like he's not fixing anything. We didn't buy him
Honestly, I
because
don't
he
know
was
what he is.
the profile, because his profile was completely different to Jackson. Like João Pedro is a closer profile to Jackson than Delap is. So we
Yeah.
didn't buy him because of
Agreed.
profile. We bought him because he was going to be a goal scorer, because that's what we were missing with Jackson, and he's scoring
Never.
less goals than Jackson is. Like he's with
Never.
limited chance as well, which was the
But
same.
Jackson played every game without question. Delap hasn't had that.
Cool.
Different.
Part of the reasoning as well behind signing Delap, as you saw from last season, he was scoring with limited chances for Ipswich.
So he was playing every game.
He was also scoring with limited chances. So when he's getting 2 chances in this game, he's getting fed through by João Pedro and he hits the side netting, and then he's getting fed through by João Pedro and he tries a weak flick on his right foot instead of hitting it with his left. Those are your chances. So he was getting at Ipswich, and he scored those.
No, I'm with you, Scott. I just think that when we look at it game by game, and that's how you judge players, and you make a decision, but just based on one game, that it's not good enough. And I appreciate there's been obviously a few more than one, but like it's a very small handful. If we're having this conversation in February, fair enough. But it's just too early. It's too early. Like same with the title race thing. Like we could win a game, Arsenal could drop points, and the conversation changes. So for people to come out and say these things about Delap, like he needs more service. He also needs to take more chances. True, he needs to read what's around him. I thought Burnley's decision making was poor as well. Like I haven't been impressed with Delap. For me, Delap's been very disappointing. But also, I've got to be patient with the guy. He's so young, and everybody's expecting him to level up as if he was as if he's been with us since Graham Potter was here, as if he's been through that journey.
I have to admit, it does need time. I can't be like with the Delap. I've got to keep the same energy, because I was saying just 5 minutes ago that Gittins needs more time. So what's the difference? No. In football, you have to have time.
No, but you don't. Not at Chelsea.
PSG.
Of course you do. You can't just come and hit the ground running straight away. You need time. You need time to embed into a system. You need time to get used to your players, your surroundings, the manager's tactics. Everything's timing. You can't expect to come in and after 2 months, be hitting the ground running. So I am for giving them time. But what we've seen so far from the both of them, I probably put the finger towards the lap more. Is awful. There's nothing there what's showing me, and the same with Gittins. There's nothing there right now what's showing me that these players can become Chelsea legends or long-term Chelsea players. What I'm seeing right now is short-term players that are going to give you maximum profit, and that's what I feel right now. Because Delap, there was nothing suggesting to me that he's going to hit good figures anyway. He's played a handful of games. He scored 1 goal this season. I said I'd be happy with 15 goals end of the season. Can he hit those numbers? He had a massive opportunity last night to get a goal.
He's not hitting those numbers.
Get 15?
Nope.
15?
I don't know, man. He's looking.
I'm going to be completely honest with you right now. I don't think he gets double digits at goals in the league.
How many?
I don't think he gets double digits.
Double 10. 10.
He gets less than 10.
Is that under the assumption that he plays a lot of games, Scott?
Yes.
Okay. And by that, do you mean 50% of the games coming up? Like, what
I don't know. Like, he's going to get a lot of minutes because, like, we have to rotate. I just don't think he's going to do anything in those games. He also, this thing with time, that's cool and all. He doesn't have time. Most of these players don't have time because 2 reasons. Number one, expectation in terms of this club. Like, if we're expecting to challenge and win titles, which I expect from next season, to be in a title challenge and probably win it. He's not the player right now. He's not the striker to take me to that title. Nowhere close. Nowhere close. The second part of it is these owners have shown you don't have time. If Omega came in tomorrow, I'd start Omega over him. Based on form, numbers, ability, everything, I'm starting Omega over him. So when Omega comes in, if he's not doing well and he loses his spot, he's already down because he has to try and win it back with the minutes off the bench that he's going to get next season if he's not the starter. If we're going to continue to play João Pedro up front, that means he's then 3rd choice. He's getting no minutes. He's playing cup minutes. That's his career finish at Chelsea. He doesn't have time. None of these players have time. We saw that with Noni. to an extent. We saw it with Mudryk again to an extent. They got even longer probably than they would have got normally, because we also didn't really get in other guys to replace them outside of Estevao until they were on the verge of leaving.
Yeah.
These guys don't have time because this ownership group constantly get new players in and constantly flip players. They don't have time. They have to perform and show a level immediately, at least some sort of level. I'm not saying they have to be incredible, but show a João Pedro level at the start of the season.
Yeah,
have something to build off of to say, okay, you can at least be a squad player. He has nothing right now. He is working with nothing. There is no credibility. There's nothing.
Just going back to Kev's point on Gittins and Delap, I agree that Delap can definitely be flipped. I don't think that you can do that with Gittins, though, because you overpaid. So there are players that they will give more time to because they spent more on them. Like, that's why we never sold Mudryk, because he was so expensive. You're not going to flip that. You probably wouldn't be able to do that with Caicedo or Enzo Fernandez. It's tough. So it depends on how much we paid for them in the first place. If we got them for a good price, fair enough. I'm absolutely I agree. Sell Tosin, make 15, 20 million. Sell Delap, make 10 million. Maybe you get a little bit of extra cash. A lot of clubs are desperate. You know, they probably would pay more because there's not many strikers out there in the market. But when you've got players like Gittins that you've overpaid for, and he's not performing to the level that you want him to perform to straight away. By the way, I'm not even like massively against Gittins. I think Gittins has got a higher ceiling than Garnacho, but Garnacho is just a better player at the moment. I mean, I've always said that, but that's not to say that Gittins isn't good. But yeah, in terms of winning trophies, winning titles, being able to count him week in, week out, 100% you can't count on him. But this is what we've brought in. So I don't know why people are expecting something different when this is the level of players that we have. I just don't get it. I don't understand. Like,
Yeah,
where was this energy? Where was this energy like in recent weeks? Where's this been? And people were saying, "Oh, I like the depth. I love what I'm seeing on the bench."
My
My energy has always been the same since the window. I said it was a 2 out of 10 window, and nothing that we've done since.
I'll never change. I don't care if we
changed my
go
mind.
10 unbeaten. We beat Barcelona 15-0, and I'll never change. This squad is not good enough, bro. The players are not good enough.
For what?
I think we would have had a different result had we not started tossing and played action point.
They're not good. They're not good enough for
For
Chelsea.
what?
And
What do you mean for Chelsea? What does that mean? For Chelsea? What is Chelsea then?
They're not good enough for this
Well,
club.
champs, mate.
They're not good enough to be playing for the club. Simple as that, bro. They're not good enough to be winning trophies.
Okay, but you got to be specific,
I'm not talking
Kev.
about the club,
Top four
be specific.
club,
These
like what we're
players
talking about, FA
are
Cup.
these players, they're not winning us fuck all like that, bro. They're not good.
They've already done it twice.
The whole of it. We've got.
They've already done it.
Three players in this squad right now, in the whole squad, that I think that are top draw. The rest of them, say less. Say less.
Kev, we already won 2 trophies with these guys. What are you
We're
talking
not
about?
winning league titles with
Oh
some of these
my
players
God.
in this
Okay,
league.
well, league titles
Don't
got
go
different
on about the
conversation,
fucking-
mate. But you're
the
telling me
Mickey
We're
Mouse
we're
not,
not
and ultimately and I think part of it as well
won.
is I think part of it as well is what I mentioned earlier in terms of there are other players that have left this football club that as a maybe not everyone, but as a majority, the fan base said weren't good enough. And the guys we signed are not better. I'm not saying they're worse, but they're literally on the same level. You can't tell me that Gittins and Garnacho are better than Noni. You just can't right now. They're not
Estevao.
cool. That's
I'd
great.
say Garnacho, Gittins.
Garnacho isn't statistically or performance-wise. He's not shown any more than Noni has. Again, at the same point as last season, and Noni wasn't good enough.
But what's Noni
You signed Delap and João Pedro, and neither of them are better than Jackson. Like
Garnacho's got better figures. Garnacho's got better figures than Noni this season.
no, he hasn't.
Oh, yeah, he has.
Oh, what for Arsenal and Chelsea? That's cool. For Chelsea and Chelsea, he doesn't.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'd say
So this is the
Garnacho might have been
problem.
better
You're
with his
making
end
sideways
product,
moves.
but Noni's still been better progressively.
you're making sideways moves, and we're wondering why we're not progressing. Like you brought up earlier, Alex, in terms of the points, I don't think we've got worse, but we've not improved. We're just stagnating. And that's not because the manager isn't doing anything. That's not because the players aren't trying. It's because the level of player you are bringing in is the same. Like you're not improving the squad in any way outside of like we bought Santos in. Cool, we already had Santos. He spent 3 years out on loan.
Yeah,
like to prepare him for playing. Estevao, you saw the talent here. He's better, but again, you kind of made that move early. Outside of those two, any of the signings we made have been an improvement. Have been better than what we had.
I mean, let me. I'll read some of them out. I mean, you tell me.
Absolutely not.
So if we look at Buenos, I think we can all agree it's probably
Oh,
not an improvement.
Where's he, by the way?
He's not even in
cares?
the squad anymore.
No, yeah. Stay wherever you are, innit?
Garnacho, I would
Not
say
better.
on par with what we had. Estevao is an upgrade.
Sure.
João Pedro.
Not better.
I mean, who did he replace? Jackson.
Nkunku?
We said Delap replaced Jackson. So who did João
I say
Pedro?
Pedro's more than
Nkunku.
They both did, man. Like,
Nkunku, oh well, that's not an upgrade. Nkunku was better.
Huh?
Nkunku's a better
Nah.
player than João Pedro, mate. Are we having this discussion?
Wait, Nkunku was better like last
Is
season
better.
than João
Is
Pedro's been
better.
this season.
Is better.
Yeah, no, I
Nkunku isn't
disagree.
He's a
currently
better player. He's had a better
Disagree.
career.
I
I mean,
disagree.
there's not even an
I
argument.
don't even think he's doing well at AC Milan. I haven't heard good
Okay,
things about him.
I'm not talking about this season stats. Sorry, let me be more specific. Just as a player on paper, Nkunku's better.
No,
João Pedro is still better,
No.
but like it's
João
marginal.
Pedro is
Think of what he's
No.
achieved. Are you serious?
Nkunku was horrid. There was times where I was saying Havertz was better than him at Chelsea. Do you know how much it takes for me to say that shit?
I think that's really harsh. For me,
Nkunku was-
Nkunku's. I always liked Nkunku, man. I think Maresca misused him. But I mean, obviously,
He was bad.
all right. We'll agree to disagree on that. Jamie Gittins, who did he replace?
Madrid or
Sancho.
Sancho, yeah.
Oh,
Sancho,
that's another one,
honestly-
by the way. Sorry. That's another one. Forget the Noni conversation. Sancho has the same amount of GNA at this point in the of last season, the same point of last season as both those two guys do combined.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't a massive fan of Sancho, but I can't say Gittins is a big upgrade. I mean, that's on par, if not a little bit worse.
The whole left side is just a holy mid-off.
Delap,
The whole left side
I mean,
just needs to be
The
turned.
Delap isn't better. You can't say
No.
Hato's better than Vega right now. I think he will be better, but right now you can't say he's better.
I think Hato was good business, to be honest, mate. I like.
Yeah, I think he was a good signing,
Yeah.
but like again, I don't think and even now I don't really care. That's your backup left back, and he's basically not played. But I don't think he's better than Vega.
I
least
would
more
say that I would say the midfield we've definitely strengthened. I think Asugo and Santos are both really good signings.
Asugo, we can't say. Well, Asugo replaced no one because we had no one.
Just more depth, though, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah, it's literally he
Santos
comes in as
replaced
like
KDH.
no, he went maybe.
I guess you could say that. Yeah.
Sure.
Well, Santos for KDH, yeah, and then Asugo just coming in really.
Jesus, man.
So when you look at it like that, it's yeah.
No
I mean,
upgrades.
I can definitely
No
appreciate the argument. I can appreciate the. For me, my stance is this. I mean, I just want us to be more comfortable in terms of top four. I want us to push towards the title. That doesn't mean we're ever actually going to compete for it in a serious way, but remain within enough points that we're not out of the conversation entirely. Like if someone dropped points and we picked up a couple of wins, maybe something nice could happen. But
It won't be near a top four race. Like if we're doing a top four race by the running, then that's the. And what have you improved? If that's the question. So like the bare minimum, you need to be in limbo. Like not good enough for the title race, too good for top four. It has to be that as a minimum.
Yeah. Smash the like button if you haven't already, guys. Subscribe as well. We've got over 1,500 people on all platforms, guys. If you haven't smashed the like button, please do. It makes a big difference. It helps the channel, especially on YouTube. We should already be on 100 likes. Come on, guys. Big up to all of you. Really appreciate everyone that is tuned in. Also, let us know in the comments as well. Do you think we have a better or worse squad than last season? And what constitutes an improvement as well? Because for me, an improvement this season would be, I mean, and I'm saying the bare minimum, by the way. So this is sort of lowering the standard a little bit. Would be to basically get top four again, and win a domestic cup. That would be an improvement for me, and I'm obviously banking on us getting through to the knockouts in the Champions League. Because to do that, you then have to show that you can rotate properly. You're not allowed to have 2 11s. You've got to manage players' minutes. And I think that shows an improvement that we're competing at a higher level. And then you start having a conversation about, right, we need to win the title. Not we need to challenge, we need to win. Because as long as we're moving up gradually, like I struggle to complain in the sense that we're not getting worse. I don't think we're going to go out earlier in the Carabao. I don't think we're going out earlier in the FA Cup. We're in a better European competition. That's obviously better. And I would say that I'd say more teams are dropping points around the top four. It looks that way. but I think we'll be pretty comfortable. So for me, if it remains the way it's been pretty much so far this season, I think that we're on course for an okay season. But
this
not,
is what I was saying.
nothing,
I was saying last
crazy.
week, and what I was saying last week about the fan base, bro. All it takes is that one L. All it takes is that one mistake from Sanchez. All it takes is that one mistake, and everyone's talk about, yeah, we back. This team good enough. Rare. Goes out the fucking window, bro. And then we're now reverting to, oh, we're not good enough. Oh,
Yeah.
this, oh, that. Just look at the facts, bro. Look at the facts on a weekly basis. When I go to a game now and I sit there and I'm like this, and I'm looking at this football, bro, I know it's not good enough, bro. I know I've seen standards, bro, from when I was a kid to now. The standards at the football club now, even irrespective of the place we are in the league, it's not good enough, bro. The style of football is not good enough. The players are not good enough. Some of the managerial decisions on a weekly basis, it's not good enough, bro. Obviously, yeah, different times, different era, and different owners, etc. But when you look at it, brother, in the bigger picture, people are propping these players up, and they really ain't good enough to win a major honor, bro. Yeah,
A major honor, as in what?
Go and win your fucking Europa Conference Leagues and your, your Club World Championships, which, was for me personally, that was just a pre-season tournament, bro. Nothing major. It was
You weren't thinking that when you were celebrating the goals, mate. You were not
bro. Listen, bro. I want my team to be challenging for the Premier League, the Champions League, Club World Cup. Yeah, it was good to have it. I was excited for it. But when you deep it, brother, was it really a massive trophy, brother?
Of course it was. Of course it was.
You're lying to yourself,
bro. Lewis, you're on mute, mate. You're on mute,
bro.
Yeah, bro. So we're doing the rival thing now. It's a literal World Cup. We don't need to be doing all that.
Yeah,
we want a major honor. Like, we can win major honors. The problem is we didn't fucking address the centre back situation, but the rest of the squad is near enough at a good level that you can compete for majors.
Yeah, I would say that we can definitely compete for cup competitions. I don't feel confident about winning a league, but I'd say in terms of cup competitions, I would back us to win the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, and I'd expect us to get relatively deep.
Yeah, I think we can go for Champions League. I'll be real. They doubted us both times we won it. We can go get it this time too.
I mean, I remember when I was in Atlanta before we played LAFC, and the one channel was like, they're basically like, "Oh, do you think Chelsea are going to win the Club World Cup?" Right? And I was like, "Fuck off, mate. Are you serious?" And obviously, we'd had a pretty depressing time up until that, and obviously the Conference League. But things change, circumstances change. Like, we've built a belief in this squad, which we wouldn't have had at all. Just the fact that we're even entertaining the conversation is so much better than where we were a year ago, when I was thinking we're not even going to get European football under this guy. So, like, I'm slightly with Lewis. I can't remember which game it was we spoke. And you said, am I wrong to blindly back Maresca? There's a part of me that thinks, well, he's done enough to earn a little bit of respect in that sense. And then just going back to what Kev said, you can't justify the decisions. I don't get that, because I thought the decisions were great against Arsenal. I thought they were great against Barcelona. I think there's been a lot of good decisions. So why are we just, cutting everything short and looking at the array of bad games that we've had, which, by the way, if we would have had a fully strengthened side, it would have been totally different. The games that we're talking about that we've struggled, let's just look at Lincoln. I thought we were poor in that game. Karabag, I thought we were poor. Wolves, I thought we were poor. These are the games that we rotated. Same with Leeds as well. So this tells me that, fine, maybe the manager could do some things different. But actually, if you don't have the personnel to be able to carry out the instructions, then it doesn't matter what he's saying, because they can't do it regardless.
Look at how much you spent, bro, on the squad, and we still complaining about squad. Is your two? You got your strong team, and you've got your weakened team, which is for rotation. For £2 billion, you would. I think I would have come up with bigger players.
£2 billion. Kev, where are you getting this £2 billion for centre backs?
£2 billion. No, £2 billion we spent. No, £2 billion spent on the squad. Do you think we should have better squad players than what?
Right. So you're not talking about the manager. You're
about.
talking about the ownership now.
Talking
and the
about
direction.
the players, the direction.
Right.
Yeah, the direction of the club. It's not on par with what I was seeing, brother, in previous regimes, brother. When you've got Tosin Badashile, I'm fucking seeing what's his name? Disassi getting turned over by an 18-year-old from PSG yesterday.
Yeah, you saw that too, then. Oh,
yeah. I'm seeing these players in this squad. Who is bringing them in, bro? Why haven't we got a world-class centre-back? Why haven't we got a world-class goalkeeper yet? Why are we still talking about Badashile? What is Badashile even doing starting, brother? I'm thinking, who's that, number 5? Badashile, bro. I'm thinking, what the fuck, bro?
I think one thing that we look at after like every loss as well is it sort of points back to the sporting directors and how they've sort of
always will do until they're gone.
Yeah. So what was that, Scott?
I said it always will do until they're gone.
Yeah, which is true because when in that situation, because of what they've planned for us, and I'll always be back to them. That's the main root of the issue. Well, from my opinion anyway, of how they've planned the squad and how Kev said we spent this amount of money. That's down to them.
Yep.
I think what we're doing is we're trying to slowly build the foundations, which I know nobody wants to hear, but I mean that's what they're doing. So you're never going to see a world-class centre-back coming in under Clear. You're just not. But you'll see a potential world-class 18-year-old, and then you just got to hope that they live up to their potential. I mean, that's what they said. They want 6, 7 Estevaos and Palmers, all the rest of it. I mean, how long does it take to accumulate players like that? So, this is year 4, and we got 2. So if you want 6, then we might be here for another 8 years before we get to that stage. I mean,
that's what my dream signings would be. Like, this is just like, in terms of dream signings, like if our sporting directors didn't go, or our ownership didn't go in this direction, like some of the players that we all sort of would want for example, for me, like someone like a Harry Kane, someone like a Marquinhos. Can you imagine if we had both of them in our team? The levels that we would go with this squad alongside the youth as well. The youth. It's never going to happen. Like, okay, yeah.
They could have fixed this squad so easily with just a few signings, man. Like, if you'd have signed one at Ekatike or Voltamade instead of either of the bozos or both of the bozos we currently have in our team, if you'd signed Gerhi at centre back, or I think it was someone else I saw. Someone else said we should get. If you'd have gone and got, I don't know, could have got Rodrigo for left wing, or if you'd just gone and got Elise actually when you should have got him. Like, if you actually address the problems when they're problems, instead of pussyfooting around them as they've done the entire time they've been here, we wouldn't be in this mess with the squad.
Walter would have been a great player for us. I really like him. I think we
mix of experience as well. But with players like, because obviously, like I said, it's never going to happen. But someone like a Harry Kane, Marquinhos, like
I don't even think it's an experience thing anymore. We just need quality, man. Because
and that as well, yeah, they're both quality players.
The experienced player in the team, let's say, was the reason we lost, and
true.
It's just he's not good enough. Like, we just need quality. The experience thing, it doesn't bother me. We just need quality. Like, I just need to see a certain level of player come in. Like, you see it with Palmer, you see it with Caicedo, you see it with Cucurella, you see it with Reece James. Like, they're of a certain level to play in this team and to compete. That's what you should be signing. I don't want to see Delaps. I don't want to see Tosins. I don't want to see Badia Shields. I don't want to see Gittins, Garnachos at this football club. And if they are, they're rotation options. That's it.
So,
they are not starters. They should be nowhere near the starting 11. They should be behind someone who's of a level that you learn off of. And if you don't learn, you leave.
I mean, Tosin ultimately looks like he's almost like a Tottenham signing. There's nobody else on the market. Oh, we'll get him on a freebie. That'll cover our backs. But I think we're past that point now. I mean, Anselmino seems like the obvious one that's probably going to come back in. I mean, you shake your head, Scott, but he's doing very well out there in Germany. He's doing very well.
Like, I don't care. Again, he doesn't address the issue. Go and sign Gerhi. Go and sign someone like that. Go and sign Lacroix.
He's only had a couple months.
He's injury prone as well. Show me you can stay fit. Play at Dortmund. Do your thing. Go and sign a proper centre back.
So then, how do you feel about Estevao? Because that's another young player that isn't
a young talented player that showed he was a talent against us on a big stage, and was the best player in his league by a mile.
I mean, who was the centre back that who's the guy who just went to Como as a scout?
Oh, Felix.
Felix, yeah. Apparently, so he called. He spoke about. So was it a Paraguayan centre back? Was it another Ecuadorian?
The Ecuadorian guy we signed,
Yeah.
Ordonez. He spoke about like a year or two ago. That's cool. He's 16. Again, I don't care. It's the same way I feel about Snapayev. I don't care. These dudes can't affect the first team currently because they're not old enough. Even when they become old enough, they will not play for us for like a year or two. I don't care. I'm really sick and tired of doing this 2-3 year look into the future. Like, I don't care, because that's all we've done with these players since they got here. We talked about Gittins earlier. I have to wait 2 years for him to maybe become something. Like, I had to wait 2 years for Noni to maybe become something. Like, I had to wait 2 years for Mudryk to maybe become. I don't care, man. I'm real tired of just looking into the future and seeing what these guys could become.
No,
I don't care.
Yeah, but see, I can understand. I can appreciate Scott saying when I say give what's his name, freaking Delap and Gittins time. A lot of the fan base are thinking, "What the fuck? Why should I invest my time again to wait to see if it's going to work? And if it doesn't work, they're going to."
But I forget about him, man.
Kellyman's alive.
Can he play against us in the cup?
No, we blocked it.
Ah, okay. Oh, what a shame.
Who's Kellyman playing for?
Cardiff.
Cardiff.
How's he getting on with them?
I don't know.
I was about to look.
I don't know. It's a bad sign.
He's played 8 games.
We started £20 million, and a geezer is now playing in League One. Right,
this is a good point, by the way, as well. Like, for all the we have to wait. If we wait for like 3-4 years time, like for a Sapayev or Donez or whoever, some of the guys we've signed that are actually of a top level are going to be late 20s, early 30s. That's a win now with them in the team. You have to win when they're at that point.
Yeah.
So all this waiting is cool until you realize that the dudes who are actually like worth investing in and worth building around are about to hit their early 30s and probably have a year or two at the top level left. So this waiting thing is cool and all, but sooner or later you just have to win.
I think that I agree with Jabo's point. I think you make a great point. I mean, that you got to find the balance, haven't you? You got to find the balance. Then you have to prioritize. Like, where are you going to put the money? But it seems like every investment, because they are investments, unfortunately, however you want to look at it, they're looking at the players as investments. How can we make this investment count? So that if it doesn't work on a footballing level, can we make it work on a financial level? Which is one of the reasons I'm not worried about Jackson either, because you just loan him out for 3 more years at, let's just say, anywhere from 8 to 10 million. You'll recoup the money that you spent for him, and then you can sell him for 30 million, and you've doubled your money. Like, that's the beauty of having these long contracts, and in that sense. But then again, obviously, you need to bring players in that work. And we talk about having a spine. I think we're finally building a spine. I think Caicedo and Enzo are part of that spine. I think Palmer's obviously part of it. I think Neto's part of it. I think Cucurella is part of it. James is part of it. I mean, this season, I'd say that Sanchez is starting to pull his weight, which I respect.
Come on,
Wesley Fofana, the most important one, I think. Piece.
This season, since the United game, Kev, you got to give Sanchez some credit, mate. I have had no issues with him since that game.
Too much water underneath the bridge, mate, for me to back him, mate. Unfortunately.
No, I'm not saying that you need to back him. You can still have your concerns, but you've got to appreciate that he's doing a good job at the moment. Because we're talking about Tosin. We're talking about Enzo Fernandez before. We're talking about João Pedro. Sanchez isn't in the conversation. Let's at least smile about one thing, guys. It's Christmas. Come on, where's the Christmas spirit, people?
Yeah, we've done the spirit of giving yesterday, man.
Hey, Christmas spirit. Why do you think I got this cup? What the Christmas spirit? Bro. I'm not in no Christmas spirit.
Yeah, when it comes to bar humbug, we never have a good Christmas.
When people are here talking about Sanchez being part of my core, my squad.
This season he's been all right since United. You've got to give him something.
This is why the standards are fucking in the ground. They're not even above high level, bro. There are 6 foot under, bro. Sanchez is in your spine, bro. What spine is this? Obviously, that spine's broke, bro. That spine is broke. That's not why you're not sticking up with like that, bro.
We forgot to
You must
mention the
mention
other
the point.
important piece of the puzzle in the spine, man. Wesley Fofana. I think yesterday made me realize how like good Fofana is and how much we missed him in that game yesterday. Just of the level that he is, what he brings to the team, the difference in how we look as well with Fofana and the team. I think he's the most important. I think in that sort of puzzle in terms of the spine and stuff. Obviously, alongside Caicedo and Cucurella for me, I think them three. In terms of talking about spine and stuff, I think they're the most important to build that sort of foundation. Because we can sort of make like I'm not going to say we could deal with that Palmer, but look how we've done with that Palmer so far. You can sort of allow him to. You can sort of accommodate for him if that makes sense, but you can't accommodate for players. I think like Fofana, Caicedo, and Cucurella. I think those three definitely. And then just yesterday we missed Fofana so much, man. Let's just hope he stays fit, man.
Is he injured again? Or is it injured?
No, it's just a load management thing. Like Maresca does this with players. Like he'll probably play against Bournemouth and then won't play against Atalanta and then probably play Newcastle and then won't play Cardiff. Like that's all it is. Like, and I agree. Like, and I think it's one thing I'm getting annoyed about with this team as well in terms of. I thought we.
Good to see Lewis, mate.
Have a good night, guys.
I thought we'd moved past, or at least not maybe moved fully past, but like gotten in the direction of not being player FC anymore in terms of reliant on players, but we still are. Like 2 years ago, it was Palmer. Like everything revolved around Palmer. If he wasn't involved, it didn't happen. Last season, to an extent, was Caicedo. Like Caicedo was just everything. This season, I think, obviously, we've seen how good Caicedo has been, but it has been, Cucurella, James, everyone's been involved. I don't want it to be a point, because I know on other channels I was on and through listening to other like Chelsea media after the game yesterday, there was talk about we needed Caicedo in the team yesterday, and Dharmesh, you made the point about Fofana. I don't want to be in a position where we're relying on these guys being in the team all the time for us to perform. Like, because again, we go back to the progress. That's not progress if you're constantly in a position where you're relying on the same guys every season, because the other guys need to step up. Like, why am I having to wait for Palmer to come into the front line for any one of our other attackers outside of Estevao, who was bad yesterday, by the way? I just need to put that out there. He was bad to perform. Why does Palmer need to be in the team for João Pedro to perform? Why does he need to be in the team for our left wingers or Delap to perform? Why does Caicedo need to be in the midfield to hold Enzo's hand for him to play well? Why does Fofana need to hold the hand of the centre-backs? Like, I thought we were past this.
They need to step up, mate, and fucking think of their own games. They shouldn't have to rely on teammates for them to perform. And that's what it is with Enzo. Like you just said, Scott, Caicedo does all the dirty work for Enzo. It shouldn't be like that. It's an 11-man squad game. You should step up and do the dirty work for Andre Santos, who's inexperienced at this level. Where was Enzo yesterday, bro? Didn't do anything. You know what I mean? These players need to step up for the other players. And these are these are in the leadership triangle. These players you're on about, Enzo, Tosin, these are meant to be the core leadership of our leadership group, bro. And they're letting us down because
Enzo's not the big problem. I think Enzo was great against Arsenal, Barca, and even Burnley got his goal. I think it's a bit harsh to single out Enzo. Tosin, 100% agree with you. Let's talk about Estevao. Scott, you brought up Estevao. Like, where do you think it went wrong for him? Maresca said that he took him off because he didn't want to get a red card.
I think some of it was what Lewis said earlier in terms of, obviously, he had no support from the right back, right centre back, whatever you'd consider it, in Trev, both from a passing perspective, and obviously he's not going to overlap or underlap. I think he had no support from his 10, who was basically playing like a striker at times. But it was just bad, like in terms of he didn't really beat Goodmanson all that much from what I can remember, in terms of like actually getting at him. The petulance of kicking out at him, like for the yellow card, was stupid. And then like trying to get in the referee's face as well afterwards was dumb. Like the Arsenal game was a game of just bad decision making, but mostly decent play, good play out. Apart from that, yesterday was just that was a bad game. That wasn't average, that was just bad. Like nothing worked for him. Like it just all round bad game. And I'm not even outside of the yellow card. I'm kind of not surprised it came off at halftime.
Yeah, I mean, Leeds is an experience. I mean, I think it's the best atmosphere in English football, to be honest with you, at its best. And even just like as on a balanced perspective, like if let's just say you go to any old game, I think based on my experience, I've been to Leeds 3 times. I think that they have an unbelievable atmosphere. And I think a lot of people seem to agree with me from what I put out. A lot of people, especially Chelsea fans, said the same thing, that it's been going for a long time.
Leeds and Forest are clear.
Forest is very good as well, mate. That's true. I think Middlesbrough was good when I went.
Stoke City, if we in the Prem,
I've never done Stoke. Never done it.
Very loud back in the day. But yeah, what an atmosphere, and fair play to them, man. They get the place jumping, man. They don't stop all game. They don't stop. I wish the Shedden was like it. You know, it's not in drips and jabs. All through that game, they were spurring their team on, and you know, it helps with the pace of the game. This is what I was saying at the start of the show. I needed to see Chelsea slow the game down, and you know, but what we were doing is giving the ball back to him, and it's giving the fans more energy to say, "Come on, come on, come on." And you know, in the end, we couldn't deal with the hostile environment, and we lost. So, yeah. Well,
let's be more specific on Estevao, Kev. Yeah.
Estevao, I was just about to get to Estevao. Didn't get no help at all. Obviously, playing off the right, you'd usually have a Gusto or someone supporting him down that side. No help. I think he was too far up the pitch to receive the ball from Chalobah. So there was no, what's the word I'm looking for? There was no chemistry between them. So when Chalobah got the ball, Estevao was way too far up the pitch to receive the ball. And when he did receive the ball, Goodmanson, he I thought was brilliant for them on the day, kept him out. Big, strong player. They had a lot of players getting around the toes of some of our better players, and it made it uncomfortable. And the players didn't live up to the expectation, including Estevao. And I'm not going to sit here and say how he was poor. I just feel like the tactics and the way we set up didn't help him coming up against physical, experienced players. So
he didn't have any support either, Chalobah. I mean, that's not a great thing to have. You'd much rather have Gusto or James.
Yep, that's it. And when you deep it, you've got not one right back on the bench, not two right backs on the bench. You've got 3 right backs on the bench, and you play your centre back out of position, bro.
Let's just go through this super chat, and then Dharmesh, I know you've got a statistic for us. Cads says you don't need world-class players in every position. I think our forwards and our midfield are good. It's just the centre-back, goalkeeper, and some depth options. Gakpo won a league last season. So thanks for the
he's underrated. He's quality.
I've got Gakpo in my fantasy football. I mean, I don't necessarily think that. Yeah, I mean, I agree with the point. We definitely don't need world-class players in every position, but it's all about priorities. What do you prioritize? I mean, if Scott, we've had this before, like you've said it a number of times. If you could sign one player in January, who would it be? I think we can all agree.
Yeah,
centre back.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be a goalkeeper. It wouldn't be a goalkeeper.
No, I'd pick Gehi. It would be a centre back, then a striker in that order.
Bastoni
would never come.
I know.
Marquinhos, man, I can dream, man.
Marquinhos would never come.
Yeah,
honestly, I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. Marquinhos actually ain't all that good. If I was picking a centre back from PSG, I'm choosing that Pacho kid over him. But yeah, just a centre back like Gehi, Alexandro.
I want to Hincapié, man. Hincapié is good, man.
Hey, should have signed Hincapié. Could have signed Mosquera. But we move.
Thanks for the super chat, mate. Anyway, go on, Dharmesh. What was your stat? I think that was a good one.
Yeah.
You said.
Yeah. So yes, I was literally just saw the Premier League table, and yeah, we're 3 points off third and 3 points off 10th. So make of that what you will, everyone.
I mean, it's not a disaster. Everyone makes it out to be a disaster, the situation we're in at the moment, in terms of losing one game against.
It's danger, though, man.
When you say that, though, these things can turn around very quickly. I mean, it could get a lot worse. It could get a lot worse. I mean, but just a quick question, like an open question to everyone in the panel. Who thinks that we're going to have a bad run in December? And when I say bad, I mean, we can get
What's
more
not running?
specific. What does a bad run mean? Yeah, that's a good. Okay, who thinks that we're going to drop points against Bournemouth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we
I'd
will.
agree with that. I think we'll drop points against Bournemouth. Who thinks we're going to beat Atalanta? I think
Yeah.
we will. I think
Yeah.
we beat Atalanta. Points against Everton
I think
That's
we
at
win that.
Stamford Bridge, right?
at the Bridge. I think we win.
Yeah, I think we win that game.
We've got a good record against Everton.
I've got feelings that we draw that one, man. I don't know, something about Everton, man. Grealish and Day, man. I think it's gonna be a horrible game. Like it's just gonna be one of those like frustrating ones. I think draw that one.
They've got more firepower than we.
KDH. Remember the name?
Dewsbury
I'm looking
Hall,
at coming
yeah.
back to
And Die as well. He's been very good this season.
What about Cardiff? We think we're going to win that
Yeah,
one.
we'll get through Cardiff.
Yeah, Tosin at the back.
Nope.
No Tosin in that one then. Okay, so we beat Cardiff. I think we struggle against Newcastle, if I'm honest, every year.
Mm.
And then I think we probably draw. I think we beat Villa. And I think we probably draw against Bournemouth on the 30th.
I think we beat Bournemouth at home.
Do you
Yeah,
think we beat? But do you think
I think we draw to Villa.
you think we draw against Villa then?
yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Maybe.
So I mean, overall, it sounds like everyone thinks it's going to be a pretty mixed month. Like not a terrible month, not a great month, but it's terrible if you want to compete for a Premier League.
I think the problem with all of these games is it really depends who plays. Like if you're like at the weekend, for example, if we're going into that game with James Fofana at the back, and Palmer back in the team, and like let's just say João Pedro up front, and everything else is, and like Neto back in the team, and everything else the same. I think we probably win that game, just because they've not been great defensively, and like we've actually got our best players in. But if you're telling me we go into that game and we've like got Gusto in the back, we've gone like Chalobah and Badiashile maybe, and we've gone Delap up front again, Palmer's still on the bench, like then I think we lose. Like it all depends on if certain players play as to whether we get points in some of these games. Like even the Newcastle game. If we have our best team against Newcastle, I think there's a chance we may don't know if we win, but we could.
100%,
But if we rotate in that game,
man,
and some of these squad players come in, we're losing that game. Same with Villa. That's why it's like it all depends on who plays. It's like that's why.
Yeah. The good thing about Villa and Newcastle is they're a week apart, but obviously we've got
Yeah.
Cardiff before then. But I'm going off the assumption that we're probably going to play a strong side against Everton before. Fingers crossed we win that. And then Cardiff, we rotate, still manage to get a result. And then we can go full strength for Newcastle and Villa. And then that's where I think we struggle against Bournemouth because we've only got a couple of days to prepare for that one. So, I mean, all in all, it's not the easiest of runs, but I mean, I've seen worse. We've got City at the beginning of January. I mean, let us know in the chat as well how you're feeling about December. How many points you think we're actually going to get out of what we're doing. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a disaster. I don't see that. I can still see us being in the top 5, top 6 come January. And that's under the assumption that would be within sort of 3 points of third place or something like that. It wouldn't be a big distance between a lot of the other teams. Right. What have we not addressed, guys? Because we've spoken about Estevao. We've spoken about December. I think what else? We haven't spoken about Pedro Neto when he came on. He got his goal. Like, do you feel like after watching that game, like now you have more of an understanding? Maybe you already had it as to why Neto starts ahead of Estevao.
Nah, like I don't think he did anything. Or like the goal was really nice. Like he did really well, but like outside of that, he didn't really do anything. Like none of our wingers really did, but also like none of our forward line did. In general, just because it looked just disjointed. Like there was just aimless crosses. It's just like the goal was really nice, and he is now our top goal scorer in the league. He's also
I've been telling you, Scott, Pedro Neto is the gem. He is the gem.
This is also his best. This is also his best ever return in the league for goals.
This is what I'm saying, Scott. This is what I'm saying. Wow. We've got a good player on our hands who's not only able to contribute defensively, but he's actually getting.
Again, I'm just gonna point out that Noni had the same amount of goals at this stage last season.
Noni was lazy. Look, Noni had a bad attitude.
That's cool.
He was
in terms
selfish.
of goals. He had the same amount of goals. Cool. That's what I'm gonna say. Same amount of goals last season that Neto does this season.
It's irrelevant. He didn't do all the other things.
I mean, he did in the start of the season. He did all the getting back. So as the season went on, he didn't.
I just don't think that you can compare Madueke with Neto. Like
Madueke was better than Neto last season.
it's like saying that any other player in the team. Let's just look at the wings, like the wingers. They come back and they defend. Like you can appreciate it, but you always know that Neto's gonna work harder than all those players. That's for me what separates him. It's a different mentality.
That's cool. I don't care about that. Like, I don't care about your winger.
Scott. It's important.
No, it's not. It's not. Like, I don't care.
Both, mate.
I don't care about none of that because, like, I care. You're a winger. You're an attacker. Like, if he was a wing back, cool, then fine. I would appreciate that more. He's a winger.
Very harsh.
I care about what he does in the attack, which, from a output standpoint, has been good. From a performance standpoint, has been mixed, very mixed this season. But yeah, like he took his goal really well at the very least. But outside of that, like he and the rest of our wingers, like Garnacho was decent in terms of, like he created that chance for Palmer, beat Bogle a couple of times. But yeah, like it just, I just trying to find the positives from that game yesterday is just hard, man. It's just hard.
I thought Gusto was a positive, to be honest with you. I thought he did all right coming on.
Yeah.
So stabilized the back a little bit. Him inviting a midfield actually gave us a little bit of control. Obviously, the third goal took it out of our hands, but I thought Gusto was all right. But back on Neto, I do like Neto a lot, to be fair. I think he's quite underrated, if anything. I think it's important to have that kind of player. Obviously, some of you might disagree with me and stuff, but I do think that he's so important to what we do, and I think he's I think undroppable at the moment for me in 100%. Terms of like performances he's putting in since the turn of like November and stuff. I think he's been key for us. And it was obvious that he was going to get a rest at some point, which I think either Kev or Scott mentioned before, which was bound to happen anyway. But yeah, I thought he took his goal really well, to be fair, and he was starting against Bournemouth, I think, as well, back in the starting 11, and he should continue his form hopefully.
I am really impressed with the fact that he's able to stay fit because he had a pretty bad, not bad, but mixed injury record at Wolves. Like he'd have a good season, then he'd have a season where he gets injured. It's not like wasn't like he got injured every single year, but like there was, I think how long was it at Wolves? 3 years, 4 years, and I think 2 of those years he had quite bad injuries, and we've never had that. So I mean, I'm blessed that he's been able to stay fit for us. And I remember, was it under last season? Villa, like he was playing as a striker. He's been there when we've needed him, and I appreciate that from a player. I really do. So hey, I mean, you might like him, you might not, but for me, if I had to get a player on the back of my shirt this season, as it stands, it would probably be Neto. Honestly, he's my guy. Tosin, you've lost me, man. You've lost me. I tried. I defended you. Look, now that Fofana's actually fit, the argument's over, and that's how it is. You know, that's how it is. I'm trying to think of like I love my analogies. It's like a woman choosing to be with a guy that spends most of his year abroad and makes loads of money. He only wants to see her 12 times a year, but when he does, it's great. As opposed to some boring guy who comes home every night. He's happy to cook dinner. He's happy to clean a little bit. But he's just not the one. He's boring, and that's the difference between Tosin and Fofana. You know, sometimes you need a bit of spice in the relationship. You have your ups and downs, but when he's there, he's there. You know, he's there. There's an aura, and I think Tosin's lost any aura if he had any in the first place. You know, I said he's not Uncle Tosin, he's Granddad Tosin now, as far as I'm concerned. That's the way I see it. There's no way for him to ever come back into the fold of ever being one of Chelsea's better defenders. I mean, that argument's over. So yeah,
hopefully
for me,
we'll do a swap deal with Crystal Palace for Gay or something.
I mean, they wouldn't do that.
If they take that, they're stupid.
Yeah.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I mean, I could still see Tosin playing in the Premier League. He's more than capable of playing for a Premier League side, but the fact that he's worse physically than I thought, can't deal with teams pressing him, not particularly great in the air, and really slow passing the ball. Even if I was a team that had a low block, I'd still be like, is this really the guy I want to have in my team? Like, I just struggle to see what teams are looking for that profile. But he's got. I mean, I think he's got good personality for the dressing room. I mean, that's something that you have to take into consideration. But judging from the comments, everyone's saying sell him, and I'm inclined to agree. I am inclined to agree. I'm not on the same wavelength as Charlie though. Freeze him out the squad, force him out. I think he'll happily leave just based on the fact that he knows we don't really want him. Like, if you don't feel wanted by the fan base, I don't think it matters how the club treats you, to be quite honest. And I think that unfortunately it's sort of the end of an era. Not been a
Good
long one.
riddance.
There you go. Kev, mate, what did you think of the substitutions that we made? We brought on Garnacho, Palmer, obviously Neto came on, Gusto, and Mark Gear right at the end as well.
Positive. Made an impact on the game. Garnacho and Palmer obviously linking up for that time where we could have had a second and got back into the game. Gusto was giving us width when he needed the width. He was also tucking in and giving us cover in the midfield. He never really got into the game. I don't believe he had as much time as he could have got. But in the balance of the first half, second half for me was a lot better. And I think Gusto and Neto was part to do with that. I just don't know what I'm thinking in my mind now. How the hell didn't they start? And I think Gusto's more than capable with his fitness levels that he could have started, and I think Neto could have probably started as well. But yeah, I don't know the reasoning behind it. But we never set ourselves up to being with a shout to win it when you're starting such a poor defensive backline. It was too late to turn around. I think if Palmer would have scored that goal, we would have been here. I think talking probably about a draw. But if you're in a title race, you can't be going to teams that have just been promoted and getting a point. You've got to be coming away with the 3 points. And unfortunately, last night the performances are now up to the levels of previous weeks, I say.
Do you boys have anything else to say about the subs?
No, not much. I think, Kev highlighted most of it. To be fair, yeah. But as I said before, Gustav, I thought did well coming on, stabilised a little bit at the back as well, and yeah. But it's actually good to see Palmer back. To be fair, we haven't really sort of like talked about him that much, but it's just good to have him back. That sort of caliber of player that we've been obviously missing. I know we've been scoring goals without him, but just have that sort of X factor player back in time for the run-in and stuff. It's gonna be vital. To get us through for Cardiff, even the Champions League as well, get us through to the Champions League stages as well. So yeah, it's good to see him back, and yeah, hopefully can dust a few cobwebs as well and stuff, and start taking his chances.
Bring in Chris Wood. That's what Jordan says.
Nope.
Mate, I'm telling you now. Look. Chris Wood would be clear of Delap right now.
You mean the Chris Wood who's not played this entire season because he's been injured before? That was nope.
No, if Chris Wood was fit, no, I'm saying if Chris Wood is fit and Delap was fit and we had Chris Wood instead of Delap, Chris Wood would have got us more GA this year. Facts, bro. Nah, facts.
What, 2 GA or something? Because isn't that what?
Yeah, literally, he has 2 goals in 8 games this season.
We can go a stream without bringing up Chris Wood, Kev. We almost made it.
I like him.
I know you do. That's why Jordan put the comment in, because he knows you love Chris Wood.
What about someone like Ollie Watkins? Or no? Someone like Ollie Watkins. Do you think he wouldn't?
Nah, it's washed.
Hypothetically.
Nah, Watkins, bro, 3 goals in 14 games. No, I just want a clinical striker. I don't really care who it is.
Harry Kane, man. I could
yeah, Harry Kane. Could have got Ekatike, but that ship has sailed. I don't even know.
Even Isak, man.
Osimhen, try that again, maybe.
That's done. I reckon. That's done.
Fuck it, bring back Lukaku.
we've got the young Lukaku. That's what you say, isn't it? The young Lukaku. So breed the next gen, mate. Ivan Toney, Jordan says, a bit old.
Do you know what? I would actually. Do you know what? Sure.
Listen, guys, we're going to wrap it up there. Really appreciate everyone that's jumped on. If you haven't smashed the like button, please do. It makes a big difference. We should be at least on triple digits in terms of the likes. We've got over 100 of you in the building on YouTube, so we should definitely be over 100 likes. On X, we have smashed it out the park. Almost 2,000 of you on X. Listen, you can still like, you can still retweet, you can share. You can go on YouTube as well and share some of the love. It all helps. It all makes a big difference. And Lord knows we need all the help we can get this season if we have to keep going through performances like that, because that was a tough watch, as well as a tough trip for myself and Kevin. So listen, we will be back with another episode of the day after Chelsea play against Bournemouth and hopefully beat Bournemouth. Although I'll be honest with you, I'm not predicting a win in that one. For me, it's no Caicedo, no party. That's the way. That's the way it's going for me.
Very difficult game.
It is. It is a tough game. I think any game that we don't have Caicedo, I think the stat is a 25% win ratio. I mean, that is bad. You play 4 games, you don't win 3 of them. That's basically what we're looking at. And we've got 3 games without Caicedo. So as far as the stats are concerned, from what we've seen in the past, it's not looking good for any of those 3 games. But have a little bit of faith. See what happens. Big up to you, Kev. Appreciate you coming on, mate. Always a pleasure.
Very much so.
Good to see you as well, Dharmesh. You like the late ones, don't you, mate? You like the late ones.
Yeah, of course, man.
And Scott, as always, good to have you on, mate. Always a pleasure.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to wrap it up there.
No,
it's all good. It's all good. Enjoy the rest of your evening, guys. We'll catch up soon and up the Chelsea.